So this is my mini bike, and it's actually turned out to not be very mini. We've been building on this thing for a while. We did a video on it a while back, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit more because, as you can see, it's changed quite a bit from when it was stock. So we put a lift in it. We've added our game cart. We've added a box for some trunk space on it, and then we put a fuel can. Here, let's go over here and take a look at it. So the topic of transportation after a collapse is kind of a big deal. You know, a lot of people in preparedness talk about it. There's a lot of different angles on it. And something that I've been exploring is the concept of having a mini bike. You know, the military for a long time used dirt bikes and motorcycles for transportation. And even more recently in some of our desert conflicts, they've used small dirt bikes, like the little TTR 125s. They had them all desert painted out, and they were using those for transportation because they were really good on fuel. You could move long distances and pack some gear with you and run all day long on a tank of fuel. They were cheap to run because they were a tiny little four-stroke engine. And so that concept is kind of transferred over. I've been kind of pulling from that concept with this. But I like this better. I like the mini bikes because they have fat tires. And fat tires give the opportunity to be able to move through harsh environments, through muddy climates or wet climates and muddy environments, and still be able to move without getting stuck. Narrow tires tend to dig where wide tires float over the top. I mean, this thing does really good the way it is, moving over tops of trees, and we could pull gear. This is a 200cc engine. It's a Predator 212 from Harbor Freight, and they're pretty universal. You use a lot of motors that fit these, and that's what makes them so nice. If I get up and kind of show you, these are basically a universal lawnmower type engine. And you're just running with this setup. I'm running a torque converter on a belt drive, which is, it's reliable and it's cheap and simple, and belts are super cheap. You can get 3 belts for $20 and keep a bunch of these. The thing that I really like about this is it's super reliable. It's not a real high compression performance engine, but they can be tuned. And so far we've done some tune work to this. We've added a header, which I'm going to put a different setup on it, but I'm running this for now. But we've got a header and an aftermarket carb, and we boosted the compression just a little bit with a thinner head gasket, and we're pulling quite a bit more horsepower than the 6.5 that it's rated at. We can run 50 miles an hour on this now, and that's what we've found at full speed. So I can cruise at 45 at about 3/4 throttle, so then I'm pretty fuel efficient. We're getting anywhere from 90 to 100 miles to the gallon on this right now, which is almost unbelievable for a 200cc engine, and to be able to run 45-50 miles an hour. So it makes it really good on fuel economy. So your MPGs are up there. You can still do 50 miles an hour, and you can pull a lot of gear. This has a lot of torque. I got it geared for torque right now, and we could probably pull a little bit more top speed out of it, but I'm actually looking for torque as well for pulling weight. So we've added a few things. You know, we added a cell phone holder for our mapping and our GPS, but if that ain't working, obviously old school maps and stuff is what you're going to want to use. But we added this cargo box so you can bring that type of stuff with you. If you wanted to put maps, gear, a little bit of food, you can. And then we added a fuel can on top of it. So this is just a Rotopax. It's a generic Rotopax can. And we added this mount. We just screwed the base mount right into this box. So I'll show you that. This makes for a really nice setup. So this box is waterproof, so you can silicone all the holes around your bolts and keep it waterproof. It has an airlock on it. This is just an Apache Harbor Freight box, but it fits on here real nice, and we have a cargo net that we can strap over the top if we need to. And I'll show you how I mounted this thing. So we mounted this. This is our mount. These are our bolts for our fuel can mount, which holds it really well. But we mounted this thing underneath. Here, I'll show you this. So I took these, this is just aluminum angle, and we mounted it to these plastic spacers. And you could use something different than this right here. You could probably mount these rails right to this little rack, but I wanted to space it up, and it worked really, really well. So these were off an old pool pump that the motor went bad. So we stole those and we bolted them to this and used that as a place to bolt all the way through for our angle. So I got a bolt running back here as well. So there's a bolt going through the top side up here and a bolt coming through here, which supports the rear part of that and stiffens it up. And I just painted that FDE, that way it kind of matched the box. But it came out real well. And so some other things we did, that was for some cargo. We welded this mount. It's just a piece of flat bar. And I welded a top piece of flat bar and kind of bent it over. And then we made a bottom piece and bent it around to where it fit over it. And then we welded it all the way around and welded around it and ground it clean and drilled a hole through it. It makes it stiff and rigid, and it actually holds this real well. So it makes our cargo trailer here nice and solid. And we have no problem pulling weight. We've pulled some weight with it. We put quite a bit of weight. We actually hauled some firewood with it and stuff. It works real well. So the nice thing about all this is, like, if you wanted to go out, hunt something and bring it home, if you want to use this for hunting, it's great. For going out, doing some pleasure riding, you can have fun with it. And we've had a lot of fun riding them. My kids got mini bikes as well, and we like to ride them. The cool thing about this is, though, is the MPG and the range and the simplicity. You can keep a spare motor on the shelf because you can pick up a motor on sale for 99 bucks. Parts are super cheap. I can rebuild this motor in about a half hour, and it'll only cost me probably 50 bucks worth of parts or less to rebuild the whole engine and put it back together. So it's super simple. You keep some spare parts like belts and stuff like that, and this thing's gonna last a long time, which makes it reliable. Mechanically, they're super simple. And so we did some other stuff to make this a little bit better for what we're doing with it. I wanted this to be more like a dirt bike than just a mini bike. I didn't want it real tiny, so we bought some extensions. We bought these swing arm extensions, which are pretty cool. So they come with 2 bolts, and you can see the original hole that the swing arm bolted to. You pull the swing arm out, and you mount these on here with 2 bolts. You bolt that together, and then you bring your swing arm in and lock it in, and you tighten everything down. Well, I didn't like the fact that it's rested on this pivot, and it had 2 small bolts, so I welded it all the way around here, front and back, so it made it super solid. But that added 4 inches of length to our swing arm, and it also lifted it a little bit. And then we went to some longer shocks, which these were pretty cheap. I think these were $40-something on Amazon. And that gave us a bunch of lift. So we raised this bike about 4.5 inches in the back. And then I bought a spacer lift, which is like, I think 3.5 inches for the front. You pull the fork tubes out, and it's a spacer lift that sits on top, and they give you longer bolts that it goes all the way through, and then you clamp it back. So that gave us like 3.5 inches in the front. And then this does have an aftermarket tank, which that was on it when I got it, which I really like it. It makes it pretty clean, and it's easy to fill. But all in all, this setup's really nice. We added an aftermarket carburetor, like a Mikuni style carburetor to it, which gives you quite a bit more power over stock, and it's really tunable. So this thing is extremely tunable for what we want to do. If you want to gear it for more horsepower, set it up for more horsepower, you can. You sacrifice a little bit of fuel efficiency, but this is extremely tunable, which makes it nice for how you can set it up for whatever application you're looking for. And so I wanted it kind of set up for torque, fuel economy, and reliability. So that's kind of the way I built it out. And we've got a few more things we're going to do. We're going to change the exhaust. We're going to run, there's another exhaust that runs across the other side of the bike and comes up, and we're going to put a nice muffler on it to quiet it down a little bit. But we're going to use it for hunting season. We're going to use it for some of our adventures. I think we're going to take it on some fishing trips and do some stuff like that. But the greatest part about it is in a crisis, it's really good on fuel. We have a 0-turn mower and a lot of stuff that run gas, so we keep a lot of fuel here. So if I got 20 or 30 gallons of fuel on hand all the time, I got thousands of miles of range with this on the fuel that I have at hand. If you got a vehicle that's got a gas tank that holds 15 or 20 gallons of fuel, you may want to use half that fuel for something like this, so you can go out and be mobile and not burn up all that fuel in one shot. This makes it really nice for scouting. I mean, you can go out and do a bunch of scouting for your resources in your area. If you're scouting for animals, for hunting, if you're scouting for fishing spots or resources like water, places to get potable water, this will work great for going down to the river and bringing water back. You load up on your game cart here, you load up your water tanks, and you could even take your fishing gear with you and throw a little cooler on here, and you could go do 2 things at one time. You could go try to catch some fish and bring some water back if you had to in a bad situation where you didn't have resources available. Sometimes those natural resources are good to be able to get to. So something like this would work real well. Or if you need to go restock supplies, you could run into wherever you have to go to barter or get what you need. So yeah, we're still got some things we're going to do to this, but we're working on the build, and it's turning out great. One more thing we did do is I bought a charging system kit for the Magneto, or a Magneto charging kit for the flywheel. So these have a cast flywheel, and the stock flywheel doesn't have charging magnets in the Predator motor. So we got a original Coleman style motor Magneto flywheel, and then we put charging coils in it so we could run them up to the battery or up to the headlight and have a switch. So we run this headlight directly off of the Magneto, and this one's a lot better than the stock headlight. It's more efficient, it pulls less watts, and it's a lot brighter. And so we did that so we'd have some light in case we had to come back in the dark or head out in the dark. But no, we're really liking this setup. We're going to continue to build on it. I got a few more things I want to change out, and we're going to add a tool kit and some more supplies to it. And I think something we're looking at is possibly putting an extension out here with the bar to mount a rifle rack too. Oh, the mosquitoes are getting me. So we're going to go ahead and mount a rifle rack on the front of this for hunting and for other, you know, for some possible grid down scenarios that you might need to throw a rifle up front. So that's our mini bike build so far. If you like it, go ahead and comment. Maybe if you have some transportation ideas and stuff that you're working on or that you've been thinking about, throw that in the comments too. I'm always interested in new concepts and ideas. But so far, this is working out real good. So we'll catch you in the next video.
Thanks for watching. If this is the kind of thinking that speaks to you, hit subscribe. I'll be covering gear, prepping systems, homestead tactics, and off-grid survival. Don't get caught off guard. Let's get ready together.